All right, welcome this afternoon, everybody, for the inaugural version of the afternoon Make HOAG Money. Thank you all for joining and attending. Looking forward to having some fun and having you make some money this afternoon. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Laura, it's good to see you. Khalid, it's good to see you. Let's take a look at here. This is the CFTC disclaimer. We should know it. We should love it. There's a lot of risk involved in futures trading. We should only be using risk capital, which is money you can afford to lose to trade with. One of the things I do love about Top Step, you're not going to have to put up any risk capital. It also states here that that hypothetical or simulated performance results has certain limitations, and I certainly agree with that. There's no skin in the game. This is a live account, by the way, but I'm not going to be discussing or deciding on any trades. That's the goal. Is you guys are some basic rules of Make HOAG Money. We do expect kindness and respect above everything. There's always a difference of opinion in trading. It's one of the things that makes markets so good. We're going to have a couple of people that, if they would like, will have the ability to speak and show their charts. Everybody is going to be involved in the decisions. So, of course, the context of your trade is going to be very important. You will be able to share your charts if you are allowed to speak. We're going to use the chat room to discuss trades. Of course, we've got the chat room in Make HOAG Money Zoom. We've got Make HOAG Money YouTube. You're not going to be able to really vote on YouTube, but we are going to be paying attention to the chat. And we're going to focus on the E-mini S&Ps. We're going to use the polling system on Zoom to make our votes for the trades. We're not going to take trades just to trade. We're not taking any losing trades, which is of course a joke. We all understand that losses are a part of trading. We just have to take them and move along. And of course, your feedback is vital when it comes to Make HOAG Money. All right, let's get into the charts here. We've got the S&Ps in an interesting spot here. We've got the range extension. We just took out the overnight high. Are we looking to go long here? I mean, in the bigger picture, we've got a late spike that we rejected in regular trading hours. The market's been continuing to move higher. We have delta congruent with direction. What are we doing? Does anybody want to speak? Does anybody want to comment? Does anybody want to chat? I can't do anything until you tell me what to do. So we've got range extension, we've got continuation, we've got the overall nuances friendly to the upside. Are we looking to get long? Are we looking for an opportunity to get short here for the last hour? What are we doing? What's up, Karen? What's up, Vlad? Trading Research. There is a different Zoom ID. Let me get that for you. If you want to join in Zoom, you'll be able to do so with this registration link. Here it is. All right, so Shaw is saying wait for a pullback to 3,800, 3,805-ish. And load the boat. So back high of value basically is what you're looking at here. All right, we'll keep that in mind. I'm going to actually put an order in at 38.05 to go for a long. We'll look at 37.99 for a potential stop. We'll see if we can get that. But right now, we still seem to be leaving single TPOs in the TPO chart where we continue to try and push price higher and higher. Karen says, don't go short. Get long on a pullback. Keep a tight stop. All right, Karen. Thank you. 38.20 is previous high. Let's look at the daily. $38.20 right up here. These swing highs is what Joe's looking at. I like the eyes, and I like the ability to limit risk at that level if we get the opportunity. So we got that swing high at 38.20. Good eye. Good eye, Joe. Good afternoon, Ben. Good to see you. I can't get anybody to talk. If you want to talk, let's go, Ben. Joel says we're definitely in a new territory, but it has been a bear market long above 38.20. All right, we got Ben here ready to chat. Hi, Ben.
Hey, I'm at.
What's happening?
Well, yeah, I like the long side because we're one time framing up,
Mm-hmm.
But to the contrary, I like to take the devil's advocate position for a minute. We do have that prior high day, but right underneath it is a floor high. I think it's the overnight high from something. I'm just seeing where I marked it. I'm not looking at the profile, but the tempo is really slow. The market internals are pretty well neutral. I really believe that the day reflects no. We just now got range extension,
Right.
which is typical of an indication of bigger money, and the reference. The overnight high from last night, the low of L period is right on that. So it's, in my opinion, I call that a weak low.
Right here.
Trading back through it.
Right.
Yeah, and this breakout of the floor high so far is pretty anemic. So you can tell I'm kind of arguing for a short if we don't get a pullback to get long, but it looks like it may be already happening. But it could pop right through that floor high. I mean, it just is. That prior high day, but it's what do you want to call it? Asymmetric risk, and so that's one idea.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not all that impressed with the momentum of this continuation of this move to the upside. I see what you're saying about the L low being right even with the overnight high. Lots of folks kind of focusing on that 38.20. I'm looking at that as a kind of an interesting area.
But I think it'd be important to decide, are looking for a couple points? Are we looking for a direction, a continued direction to late spike up? Or are we looking for maybe a big flush down to the VPOC or lower for the remainder of the day?
Well, I'm not in the mind of anything. I'm just trying to see what people are saying and see if we can't find an in and an opportunity for us. I kind of like Shaw's idea. He's already 3 beers in. It stopped trading a couple hours ago. Yes, folks are saying it's kind of hard to hear you. I've got my speaker out here right next to my microphone. Hopefully that's going to help with that.
Are they saying that in YouTube?
Yeah.
Because they might mean me.
Yeah. You sound like you have a cold, dude. You all right?
Yeah. Yep. I was the one asking about the medication this morning.
Okay. It's a good question, right?
Well, I'll tell you what I found out.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it worked well for you.
No, it did at first, but it definitely threw me off. So plus it was a Monday,
Yeah.
So that played into it. I'm sure I've traded this way before, but like today I was just feeling a little. I'm like, maybe that's just not such a good idea. And I haven't learned to really always listen to that voice, and that's kind of where I am.
So we get Michael is saying, there's a little hole in the profile. The single TPO is at the low of L period. We got a low volume node right there at the low of L period too.
Yeah.
Is this something you would look at? I mean, I know we've got kind of a weak low at the low of L period with the high of the overnight.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I just got filled short at 17, so yeah, I'm kind of because I'm looking at what hasn't happened. I mean, it could be like they're accumulating now, and there's all of a sudden going to be this big pop, but I'm kind of at this point willing to take that chance, you know.
Well, I think we see Delta at its high of the session right now. So I think this is shorter term buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the thing to think about doing is we've got Caesar here talking about taking a short below 38.20 with a tight stop. Do we agree with that? Let's go with the poll. Oh, oh. And I thought that the polls would be attached with the other session.
Oh,
Do we like
yeah.
it or don't we? I don't want to spend the time and get the poll going here. Then I have to reload into. Let's see if I can do this on the fly. Create. Save. All right. Hey, there it is. Launch. Take it or don't take it. We look for the short at 38.20 with a tight stop. Michael saying his market's pretty strong. It's hard to short up here. The single TPOs up here, that kind of bothers me. We've had buyers all day. Buyers are continuing to get paid. So we've got, I wouldn't call it a mandate so much as 71% participation. That's pretty good. We got 56% saying yes. Let's see if we can get right on it. Just short of it. And we'll risk 3 points. See if we get it. Stop sharing. So we're looking for a long down at 38.05, basically value high on a pullback. Which I would be nervous about if we take out those single TPOs. Joe's saying if we get stopped out, we look for a long at 38.20. We look for some continuation. Just, I don't think I've been short all day. I've been working this market, looking for opportunities to buy weaknesses all day. Why? Can you tell me, Ben?
Value is clearly higher.
Value is clearly higher. Late spike.
Late spike, yeah, rejected out of the spike base and rejected out of the prior day's range. I want a cookie?
Yes. Yes. So did Joe. Joe said the same thing. Rejected late spike. Rejected late spike. Hey, we are doing good here. We are doing good. Karen says she doesn't like that short. Probably means it's going to zero. Karen, you must be like me. The market loves to make a liar out of me, right? Liquidity above those highs, Jonathan is saying. Seth, take his mask off the vid. He was talking about you. He could hardly hear you. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Ben with a nice laugh off Karen's idea. So true, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A little lower volume than Friday. We may just grind into the close. I'm with Shaw. Maybe what Wednesday's the next afternoon make Hoag money. Maybe we should all be drunk. Oh, we're short.
Where's our bookmap person?
Joe Drinnen. I do not see him here. No. He's a morning guy.
Okay. Just wondering how it's looking right here. Okay, I'm out. I got stopped out.
Okay. And here's our 20. Do you see there was like 500 for sale there? I'm sure there was a little bit of liquidity there that Joe would have pointed out. Should we go long? Well, we are above, but I mean, I've given this 3 points. Do we just want to cannonball this and go the other way? Do we or don't we? Let's ask the question. This question is cannonball it and go long or let it play?
Well, let's see that. We've got kind of a little bit of excess now over that 10-5 high. So maybe game over.
That 38.20 high.
Yeah, I think I like it coming back in, and I'm gonna get stopped in to short it. I think. If I can't seem to place the order.
We got 50% participation, and guess what? We are 50-50. We're going to just let it hang out, I guess.
So this is one of my favorite kind of trades. Is sort of like, like it's come back through that area now. So back into that 10-5 range. So now it gives me a chance to maybe risk that high, which isn't too bad. And, I could get whipped out. It may take a time or two if I really believe it's going lower. And honestly, I'm not sure. I don't really know. It's a little bit of a... But I do like the fact, we've got a pretty solid volume point of control right at that 3,800 mark. And it's kind of a little bit thin going up, and the tempo so slow. But then again, we got a double distribution and time framing. I mean, there's always this conflicting stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what do we do?
That's honestly, I think I didn't love the Rubik's Cube when I was younger. It mainly frustrated me to where I learned how to take it apart, put it back together.
I always just bought the stickers and put new stickers on it.
Right. So it's kind of like that. It's sort of like a fascination, like a puzzle sometimes to sort of weigh all these things and get it right.
We're just not getting the pullbacks. You can't seem to get back inside the overnight range. It's one of my favorites, is get outside overnight range, come back inside it, and go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. We're just on one micro right now.
Now, I'm just going to run this. If you have anything to help enlighten me about this, I'd really appreciate it. So I look back on the daily chart to September 21st. We had a pretty big move down, a real solid down day that that it was probably bigger time frame participation.
September 21st, you said?
Yeah.
Down here, okay.
Yeah, and so if that bigger money's not in there today, like they made their positional move then, and they aren't necessarily going to be rolling back their shorts or covering or anything at this point. I wouldn't think. I don't know at this time of day, and so that sort of, I mean, I'm sort of like guessing a little bit, but like it would make me think that I'm not too worried about all of a sudden there being this massive short covering rally,
Okay. Yeah, that day is the day we broke out below this day in July. That was the first day I really saw new buying coming into the market. And I thought, man, this is an important day. It took 3 days for it to take out the low of it. And that's the day you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of important level here, isn't it?
Yeah. But I don't know I don't know how they hold it down, or if somebody's there putting orders to hold it. I don't, people talk about defending position.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand all that. I never have in all the years, but I'm just looking at the tempo and the fact that if this was a real short covering rally, I feel like it, there is a kind of slow, stealthy one, but I just wonder the way the day's been mostly seem to be daytime frame traders just hanging around.
Yeah.
Pushing it back and forth, that we've kind of pushed it like a dog on a leash, took out that high, and now maybe game over.
Well, I mean, we did see open interest come in on this day. What the hell day was that? I think there's a display issue here, but we saw open interest come in yesterday. Well, I should say Friday. What do we have? Approximately 19,000. What's the actual? 31,000 we added on Friday. So that's some pretty decent longer time frame buying, considering we had negative delta on Friday. Take a look. Here it is. So we had almost 10,000 in negative delta by the end of the day on Friday, which was an up day. So that tells us quite possibly that with the increase in open interest on Friday, that this was longer time frame buyers against shorter time frame sellers. Look at what we did at the end of the day. We continued to push to the upside. Last night, we looked higher right away. Any of those shorts got scared out. And we are positive delta today, about the same amount we're negative yesterday. I would say that we trapped some overnight, some shorter time frame shorts before the weekend, on Friday, on this push to the upside. We trapped some shorts. Those shorts are still getting out. Perhaps. Now, if they're done, we may see this thing pull back into range as the market gets closer to closing. I'm going to cancel these just so that they don't block us from other opportunities or putting in other trades. Actually, we'll leave the one in here at 05. Yeah, that's going to be our target.
You're still short from 20?
Yeah, 1975 right here.
Okay, that's where I'm short from, but I didn't get in when you did. I got in on the back end.
On the way down?
Yeah. I got stopped out on my first short. Or, wait, was I short or long? No, my short. I got stopped out when it went to 20. But then I took the back end.
All I saw was 3820 volume, and that's normal. Yeah, there was some Those big fat round numbers, right? Matthew saying 38.13 is going to get checked, which is the high from the overnight. Matthew saying it's going to pull back here. Harry short 2.
Well, I don't know how today will turn out, but I like coming in with all this information to deal with.
At the end of the day?
Yeah. The
right.
downside is, at least today, the tempo is a little bit, lethargic, which can be good or bad,
38.05 significance is the high of value. That's where one of you guys was talking about 38.05 being a good place for a long. Now we're back to break even here. Not getting much pullback. Joe's asking why we're talking about tempo dying. Well, we've been here for about a half an hour and we haven't really moved. We did take out the 20 high. We moved a little bit higher, came back in, but overall, I don't think we've really moved all that much. Kind of slow tempo. Ha! Shaw, the only significance of 38.05 was him running his mouth, but it's value high.
Kind of beer they drink in Bangkok.
You guys might cause me to start drinking. Shaw's drinking beer, good beer.
Got new TPO in a couple minutes that might bring a little.
Yeah, we're gonna have another break in TPOs, another single TPO.
Yeah.
Two minutes. Michael, toothy profile. It's kind of toothy.
Toothy, I like that. I've been describing this like just as elongated. If it's not a D, a B, or a P, I like that, toothy.
Well, we had kind of a, excuse me, we had kind of a P shape. Now we're extending. If I was afraid of this, we'd get into something and it would just sit there. Karen. It's going to make a liar out of me. M period is coming up here in less than 1 minute. M period. No break there. Right to it. Yeah, usually you pick a side and it either works or not by now, right? Caesar says it's boring. Get out with some profit. Then what do we do?
In a really healthy mindset, because there's a lot of times I've been in a trade that sits and sits and doesn't go my way, or takes me out like it's going to work, and then it comes back at me, and many times I'm thinking I had to just close it. If anything, I'd save a lot of time and emotional capital.
Hi, Lewis. We are just hanging around. I don't know if it's going to get any more boring if we just take a profit here and wonder what to do next, or if we wait. At least we got an opportunity. At least we're not sitting like right in the middle of the range and going, okay, what do we do now? Whenever that happens, I feel like I'm one of the fish in Finding Nemo that they get put in bags and they roll their bags out and they get into the ocean and they're stuck inside the bags in the ocean. And they're like, what do we do now?
Huh. I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen that? It's a great
movie?
It's a great movie.
All right, we get a little progress here.
So here they are. They were in an aquarium in a dentist's office, and they escaped by getting put in bags, and they roll across the street and into the ocean, and then they're like, all right, now what do we do?
I'm gonna probably have to watch it now.
It's a great movie. It's very funny.
Somebody got me to watch. I don't think it was The Lion King. Gosh, it was a long time ago. It was an animated movie with a lion in it. That Ice Age. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a lion. I don't remember. It was a tiger. It was Ice Age, but it was. I thought, why am I watching this? And I loved it. It was just a great movie.
Yeah, there was like a tiger, and it was what was the name? The name. Dennis Leary was the saber-toothed tiger.
Oh, there it goes. I had an exit at 1475 once again, right to the tick.
Did it get you?
No, I think it will though. But this it's just I should have known. I put it below the L open, but I think he'll get it. Not that my thinking will help it, but it just feels like it.
I wonder if
got one off.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I wonder if we should just put on some music during Make Hoag Money in the afternoon. Although I'd probably get in trouble.
Oh, copyright stuff?
Yeah. All right, we've... All right, we got the 9 session above price, 13 at the bottom. Both of them heading higher. I don't know.
Maybe you could be thinking about some tales from the pit. Like, didn't you tell us one time about the O'Hare trade or something?
Yeah. Yeah, the old O'Hare spread.
O'Hare spread.
Yeah, if you're down a bunch of money, you put on a big position, and you jump in a cab and you go to O'Hare, and you call down to the floor and you ask where the market is, and if it's gone your way, you tell them to cover it, and if it's gone against you, you just jump on a plane and leave the country. Not the best thing to do, but we got Shaw doing some drinking already, and boy, there sure was a lot of that on the trading floor. My dad was, in the grain heyday, in the early '70s with the grain embargo, and guys were making money hand over fist. And one of his buddies would say, "Hey, meet me at O'Hare at 5 o'clock. We're going down to New Orleans for the weekend." So they'd all meet him at 5 o'clock at O'Hare and hop on a plane and wake up on Monday morning and just be, where the hell are we? Yeah, it was a lot of shenanigans going on. I, of course, never did that kind of thing.
You didn't get your halo dirty?
No, I was a good boy. Of course, for the first 6-8 years of my career at the Merc, I was also tending bar, and so Friday night, Saturday night, usually I was working, which kept me away from a lot of trouble. I had a lot of friends who got in a lot of trouble.
I think my older sister used to wait tables at the TGI Fridays right near the Mercantile Exchange.
How old? She's probably a lot younger than I am.
Well, she's a few years younger. Let's see, she's probably 55 or 56.
Oh, well, I probably knew her.
Yeah.
There weren't too many bars around there that we didn't go to. So you saw the movie Floored documentary about the old exchange times, Captain Price. A lot of the people in that movie, like Rob Prosnewski, the guy with the Beach Boys album cover painted on his back, he was actually 4 people from me in the pit. Really a good guy, really a nice guy. His brother was probably one of the best traders in the trading pit. There are a few guys in there that weren't the nicest people. Of course, you're always going to end up with that, but it was quite the game, man. It was a lot of fun, a lot of stress, a lot of money, a lot of wins, a lot of losses. Joe Gibbons was one of the guys that was discussed quite a bit on that. He was a really good guy. And you probably remember the guy that basically guzzled a whole bottle of wine during his interview. That was Greg. And he was an unbelievably good trader. But his lifestyle, I think, was really what got him.
Was he the one that kind of once it was over and he didn't really, wasn't that movie sort of about people transitioning as well to like electronic trading?
Some of them, yeah. Somehow they tried to and weren't able to.
I remember I've seen it because I remember the guy with the Beach Boy jacket.
Yeah, that was Rob Brzezinski.
I do remember one guy was he just talked about how, and he still seemed well off, and like he made all this money, this, that, but he was just like working in a grocery store or something now. I don't remember what it was, but he did seem like he had some issues going on there.
Yeah, there were a lot of issues. Yep. Yeah, somebody's got him named Captain Price. That was Greg Reba. Yeah, he was a musician. I was a drummer. He always wanted me to come play drums for him, but I was aware of the lifestyle that I was putting myself in if I went there, and I just didn't want to expose myself to that.
Were you married at the time?
No, at the time I don't think so. I was still pretty young then.
So did the I forgot what you said his name was, the guy with the Beach Boys jacket, is he trading still? Is he trading electronically?
No, I don't think he is. I don't see much about him except for once in a great while on Facebook. I guess he's I guess married. He's got a couple of kids from what I understand. I don't know what he's doing though. Rob was a great guy.
So I just averaged one in against that low volume note on the overnight high. And it pulled my entry down a bit, but
You're long?
no, I'm short.
Short,
I'm still
okay.
short one.
Okay.
And I went to
Greg was one of your secret mentors. You don't drink though. Well, good. I don't know what he's doing. I hope that he's doing well. What prompted the short was 38.20 is the swing high on the daily chart from back here, Vince. And we were also noticing that this was the day that took out the low of the big up day that I was focusing on at the time. So this area here looks relatively important. We took the short just because we couldn't hold above that 38.20 level. And we're just seeing what happens. And we got Sunday Globex high right here at 38.13. Yeah, we got it going here. We got it going. Yeah, at least for now. The name of the film, it's a documentary, Yvonne. It's called Floored. You can find it on YouTube, no problem.
I'm gonna watch it again soon.
Yeah, a lot of guys on the floor used to kind of quote, what was it, Biggie Smalls? Mo money, mo problems. Yeah, it's on YouTube, 100%.
But still, yeah, I'm going to be out one of these at 11.25. Didn't fill it. Smaller. Okay, got it this time.
Now you're out. All right.
Yeah, now I'm back past even now. I was down 2 points.
All right. We just took our profit, $40 on a micro.
That's good.
And just thinking if we fill this hole here, that might end up being a little bit supportive, but it's a good trade. Thanks to all of you who came up with the idea. Appreciate it. I got enough to buy a couple of McRib sandwiches. The McRib is back. Hey, Jimmy Decker. Transitioning from the pit to the screen for traders has been a nightmare. Now, I had the benefit of seeing some of my friends or acquaintances or associates on the trading floor step out of the pit, try to jump onto screen trading, and really just have a very difficult time with it. They had a lot of losses. So I had the benefit of understanding that it was not going to be an easy transition. So when I stepped out of the pit for the last time in 2009, I spent a year sim trading, learning to trade on a platform, not looking at the pit, trying to figure out how I was going to find some sort of an edge, some sort of a way where I would be able to recognize opportunity. And to me, opportunity is usually it's about pitting time frame against time frame. If the longer time frame is active and getting the short time frame traders too short, I'm long. If the opposite is true, I'm going the other way.
If you don't mind sharing, and maybe not today or prepare another time to go into more detail, like what was that like psychologically for you that year? I mean, you mentioned it before, but what was it like, the transitioning being difficult and a completely different, like almost relearning how to trade?
Well, that's kind of the way I looked at it. I tried to kind of strip down anything that I could see in the trading pit and not use that, not focus on that. I'd always been a profile guy, and I knew that the profile was going to be a major part of my ability to continue to trade at all if I was even able to do so. But, it was a tough year. You married, you got kids. I had 13 and 15-year-old kids, and they have sports and trips for baseball and all kinds of shit going on. So it was not easy. It was stressful. And to be,
Discouraged at times?
pardon me?
Were you very discouraged at times?
Yeah, of course. I was so discouraged. As a matter of fact, at one point, I was in the running and relatively close to being hired by the CME compliance department. So I would have been leaving trading and just becoming part of the CME compliance department. And I don't know how it would be there now. There's, back then there were still people on the trading floor. You still had contact with people. Now, I think they're all more like computer eggheads trying to figure out who's doing what and who's cheating what and all that crap. So, but then Top Step came along, and I was fascinated with the idea of creating opportunities for people without the huge risk, because I knew that I was lucky enough to come into the industry and into the business at a time where I could get a job as a runner on the trading floor, and I could hang around with traders, and I could learn from traders. And that wasn't going to be there anymore. It was actually something that I had been concerned about is, how is anybody even going to get into this industry with any amount of possible success if they don't have that time, that ability to learn slowly and make mistakes without losing everything. And the idea of Top Step, the trading combine, the idea that you're going to be able to trade in a simulated account, but you're not going to have your cash at risk to the markets. Yeah, there's still a little bit of skin in the game, but it's so much smaller than if you had actually funded your own account and sustained those big losses. I mean, I knew we were onto something when one of our users, his name was Ben, he'd been with us for a while, and this was before resets. So if you had a rule violation in the trading combine, you just had to buy a new combine. So he was paying big bucks and just hitting daily loss limit, hitting daily loss limit, hitting daily loss limit, hitting daily loss limit. So every day, basically, this guy is buying a new combine. And he calls me one day and he says, "You know what? I've spent enough. I just want you to give me an account. I want a live account, and I feel I've earned it, and you owe it to me." And I said, "Ben, what are you talking about?" This is not how it works. It has to be an even playing field. You have to succeed in the trading combine to get into a funded account. I don't care. I've spent more than you guys are going to risk on me. This is bullshit. Blah 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 blah. I said, "Okay. give me 5 or 10 minutes and I'll call you back. So I went through all of his combines and added up the losses that if he was trading real money, where he would be. Now we're talking well into six figures. And I called him and I said, Ben, if you had been actually trading real money, this would be your losses to date with us, with Top Step. This is what you would have cost, either yourself or us. Do you still think we owe you an account? And he said, I hadn't thought of that. Thank you very much. And he hung up the phone. Now, he was spending more money. I think we'd actually tried to stop him from doing that. Mm-hmm. To which he said, no, I'm going to just keep doing it. But I knew then, how important that this industry that we created, Top Step created the SIMDA-funded industry, how important it was going to be for the trading community. I swear, I think, I'm sure we've saved traders billions by having this venue, this opportunity to trade in a simulator, but with a little bit of skin in the game. And I'm proud of. That I think is one of the biggest things Top Step. I mean, yes, we want people to succeed. We want people to make money. We want people to make us money. But alongside of that is the idea that we are saving people from substantial losses. We had a couple that they were from Montana. I just recently told the story. Sorry if you heard it, but they were interior designers doing like the big mansions that a lot of stars and people are buying up in Montana. They were making money hand over fist. They took $100,000 and put it in a futures account without any idea what they were doing, and they decided they were going to just kind of max out a position in something. And they checked it 2 weeks later, and they had made $400,000. They thought, "Wow, this is easy. This is great. All right, what are we going to do with the money now?" So they leveraged out and maxed out on something else, and a week later they're getting a phone call, and it's a margin call. They've lost all that money. So they decided that there was a lot that they didn't know, and that's when they came to Top Step. So, I mean, they could have walked away with $400,000 in profits on $100,000, but they lost $500,000 and said, this is just, obviously there's something we're missing here. So that's when they came to us. But what a heartbreak, to have somebody tell you that story and just go, oh my God, you should have come here first. You'd still have that $100,000.
So right now we're at that. I know it's getting late in the hour here, but we're at that 38:05.
38. I should have left it in, right?
Well, I don't know. I was just gonna suggest maybe talking about the fact that now the time has changed by when we got there. Maybe it's not a good time, even though we're in the right space and that was the plan.
Right, and we have moved value a little bit higher here. It's now 48.07, 48.08. So
that's true as well.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is whatever happened to Ben?
I don't know. I think he was with us for a while. I think he ended up getting funded, and eventually, I don't know where he went.
Well, that makes me happy. I mean, to hear that he didn't quit, and he, that was big medicine to him, but it maybe helped him a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember his chat name, because everybody had a chat name. We had this Squawk Radio that everybody was in, and they enjoyed, and I don't know. I should look him up. I'll see if I can if I can remember him, and if we still have him in our database. I'm sure we do somewhere, but it'd be good to know how he's doing, what he's up to. He's a good guy.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So, all right, I think we're getting a little late to get into anything here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I wish I would have waited to trade until now, because I didn't have a good morning, but just helped to be here and talk things through.
Yeah. No, this is great, and I think you were one of the bigger ones that kind of suggested, why don't we do this at the end of the day too? And I thank you for the suggestion and for being here and chatting with me. So, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and got to get ready for the recap. And if there's more thoughts, ideas, questions, suggestions, anything like that for Make Hogue Money, don't hesitate. You see, we've already expanded things as was suggested, and in a big part by our friend Ben here. And thanks for the suggestion.
Do you know how many? I mean, was there comparatively to like how the mornings are? Was it a decent turnout?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but I was kind of expecting that, especially for the
Yeah.
first session. But I think we got up around 50 on YouTube and around 45 or 50, I think, on Make Hogue on Zoom. So good turnout.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate. I can't imagine your schedule every day. That seems like a lot of prep.
Well, it's I enjoy it, man. I love what I do. I've had a good trading day. Had a good day in Make Hogue Money. We made $40, and any day positive is a good day, right?
Yeah, my dad told me once, and it's always stuck with me. And most people have probably heard it before. But if you find something you love to do, you'll never have to work a day in your
Never
life.
work a day in your life. That's right. That's right. So, and some days I love it, and some days I hate it. But it's something that you just can't walk away from. I've probably quit 10,000 times, days in a row, where I can't do this, but I always seem to come back. Always like, all right, let's get this.
Hmm.
Right?
Well, I feel that myself. It's like it's something. It's never experienced this with anything else. It like gets in your blood or something, to where no matter how frustrating it is, I still I keep coming at it.
Yeah, it's like golf. You get one or two good hits per round, and that keeps you coming back. All right. Trade well, everyone. I'll see you in about 15 minutes for the recap.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.